All right, let's get started here. So your theme of the month is the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Coins. So you're starting off with an Earth sign card, which is good because you're an Earth sign. The Nine of Pentacles is a generous energy, but it's also about an abundance, an accomplishment, feeling of satisfaction. So if you're single, I feel like some of you may be out dating more than you have in a long time. In fact, I'm getting this lull, like maybe you haven't been dating at all and you're deciding maybe here in the US because of the holidays or in other countries because of the summer coming on that you're interested in flirting or having a good time. You're interested in spending time with somebody and not necessarily lavishing them with your love or anything like that, but more just entertaining the idea of actually being with somebody and really caring about somebody and meeting somebody that you could see yourself with for the long haul. But this is a satisfaction. Like you're not interested in certain aspects, like some of you aren't interested in friends with benefits, while others of you aren't interested in marriage or kids, etc. And the Nine of Pentacles is saying you want somebody that you can be satisfied in your life and where you're going, somebody who kind of sees eye to eye with you. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is maybe kind of getting over the anger. When you break up and there's different stages of divorce or different stages of grief or different stages of breaking up, you go from like angry to happy to sad to whatever. And the Nine of Pentacles is saying that you're feeling generous as well. You're feeling kind of like if they reached out to you, that you would be more welcoming into having them, around again, or you would feel a satisfaction in having communication with them. Not that you want to, jump into something immediately, because some of you, I feel like this is hesitation, but it's almost like a dreaming card. Like you would like to see yourself at a point where you guys could get back together as far as even just communicating, not necessarily jumping into a relationship. The next card you have is your current position coming into the month, and you have the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is kind of a falsetto, okay? This is not falsetto, a facade. The Nine of Swords is anxiety, it's depression, it's fear. But the thing about it is it's fearing something that's non-existent. So you're fearing something that hasn't happened. You're fearing the worst is yet to come. You want to be careful with that energy because you don't want to manifest that into your life. You don't want to turn that into a reality. So if you're single, this is you kind of going, hey, maybe you've met somebody that makes you feel that Nine of Pentacles energy, that generosity. Or maybe, again, I feel like for a lot of you, there's been that lull and you're coming back into it and you're going, oh, I've heard horror stories and there's all different situations. And how will I know if this person's being real with me? Maybe you've had, your own mishaps in the past in dating where people have told you, what they thought you wanted to hear and it turned out. So I just feel like you're coming into this month going, I really want to find somebody to, have that Nine of Pentacles with, where I can be satisfied with. We can be in abundance together, but you're nervous about it at the same time. Like, what will I find? What will I bump into? Will I know if this person's being real with me, organic, or if they're being, fake and flaky. So, just be careful of that because it's not necessarily a negative energy. It's just, this is like almost in your own head. You're fearing something that hasn't happened, or you're assuming the worst is going to happen when it could be a really good situation. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar, although this is a fear that like you won't ever get that satisfaction, that you won't ever feel that abundance with this person again, which, like I said, is in your head. The Nine of Swords is something that is non-existent to a certain extent. It's something that you can manifest into something existent if you continue to put that negative energy out there, because you'll attract that back. But the Nine of Swords is saying, look, if you're fearing this, it's like, let things happen before you assume the worst is going to happen. The next card you have is how you're feeling coming into the month. And you have the Ten of Pentacles. So you have a lot of pentacle energy already, which is Earth, which is you. So that should be grounding. The Ten of Pentacles is actually a really good card. This is how you're feeling. So that tells me that you're worrying about something that's not here yet, or that hasn't happened, which may never come to fruition or may never happen. You're just worrying about it. Therefore, manifesting this kind of negative scenarios in your head. The Ten of Pentacles, though, being what you're thinking about, I actually really appreciate and like, because the Ten of Pentacles is saying, hey, this is you. This is after the Nine of Pentacles. So you've got the 9 for your theme and then the 10. And the 10 of Pentacles is a wealth. It's also a generosity, but it's a legacy. So this is you saying, I want somebody to build a life with. If you're single, I want somebody to spend time with. I want somebody to appreciate. I want somebody that I could see going the distance. It doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be kids. Everybody's idea of traditional and whatnot now is so different. It doesn't have to be any of that, but whatever you see yourself doing with a partner in life, The 10 of Pentacles is saying you're really envisioning that right now. Are you scared about it? Yes. Have you met maybe some people who haven't treated you well? And so you're not really sure, like, will it ever come to fruition? Yes. Are you also nervous if you've met somebody recently that you think could be a really good possibility for that? Yes. So there's a lot of nervousness involved, but at the end of the day, keep that end game in mind, because that's your goal. That's where you want to be. And if you truly want it, it does exist and you can have it. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, the 10 of Pentacles, it's also very interesting here because this is legacy, like having kids. Maybe you have kids with this person. You'd planned on having kids. You'd planned on getting married. So you're kind of going back in your headspace of going, we had these ideas that we wanted to do together. It could be just having a travel partner or adopting pets together, whatever it is for you that makes sense. The 10 of Pentacles is saying you still have that mindset, like we can do this, we can get there, but you're nervous about it. Do they want me as much as I want them? And it could be a flip side. It could be, do they want you? Or like they're thinking, do you want them as much as they want you? So I feel like there's a very like, 50-50 energy for a lot of you. You're worried that they don't want you and they're worried that you don't want them. Because this came up as your current position and now you have this of still wanting the things, it makes me feel like there's that connection there that's still brazen, still out there, but neither one of you are like, you're both going, oh, I don't know. So nobody's making a move. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past 5-10 years, could be throughout childhood, you have the King of Pentacles. Again, another Earth sign energy. The King of Pentacles is a traditional energy. It's very authoritative. It's very business-like. It's very balanced. It's a stable energy. So I always read this whether you're single or looking to reconcile together, because this is something from a long, long time ago. And this is something that for whatever reason is influencing this month. So you either need to remember not to repeat certain patterns in relationships or looking for love, or bring to the table something that's good. Now, the King of Pentacles is very interesting. I'm feeling like a father or mother energy because I don't apply sex to the cards. But this is like a mother or father energy that you witnessed, maybe a single mom, a single dad, and they were like on top of their game. What's even more interesting is I'm getting this, like the universe is saying they were on top of their game, but things happened. Things weren't always perfect. So remember that you hold the ability, you have the stamina and the capability to get what you want. And there were role models in your life that you could look up to, that you could go, hey, this was amazing. It could even be right now, for some reason, I'm getting this weird gut, like a parent you would love to ask about this because you feel like they would have all the answers, or a sibling or an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent, somebody that you would love to say, hey, you know, I'd really like your opinion on this, whether you're single or looking to reconcile. You know, what's going on? What do I do here? How do I, you know, how did you meet so-and-so? Or how did you get to where you were in business? Or how did you become successful? Or, you know, how did you keep your temper or find patience, etc.? All of these things wrapped up into the King of Pentacles. So this is somebody that you could have admired, or somebody that you've always strived to be. But this is the universe's way of saying you have those capabilities. You can have everything you want. But don't think that for any second that this person wasn't nervous themselves, or somebody that you can think of that you emulate, that they didn't have these moments of feeling instability or feeling like it's never going to come. So I really feel like the message here from the past is, hey, believe in yourself, because even if it looks shiny and bright and clean as a whistle on the outside, we all have our doubts. We all have our feelings of insignificance. And that's what makes us human. That's what makes us who we are. And so you need to embrace those parts too. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past 2 weeks, past month or so, you have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is somebody who's kind of coming and fighting, somebody who's cutting people off and saying how they feel, and they've got things on their mind. So if you're single, I really do feel like maybe there were some people that you were talking to that you were thinking you guys were going to go the distance, and then you found out that they're full of shit, or you found out that they're, you know, players, or whatever the case is. And so that's where your hesitance is to come in and either trust the person you're talking to or the few people, or just get started back into it. The Knight of Swords, like I said, is it can be very hostile. It's a confrontational, but it's very direct and it's very logical. So it's not like you were being, you know, like ridiculous about it, or it's not like you were, I almost feel like somebody was trying to make you feel nuts. Like if you were single, somebody was like, oh, you're crazy. I do see us together. I do. And you're going, well, when? Or, well, you're talking to like 5 other men or women. So what? Like, how do you figure? And so it's interesting because I feel like maybe you had a lashing out, or you had to like cut ties because it was just like, no, I'm done. Like, this is craziness. So there's some sort of, directness that had to be taken, an approach with somebody, maybe a few people, maybe even just shutting off the dating altogether and being like, okay, this sucks and I'll come back to this later because I'm not dealing with this anymore. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is very interesting. This makes me feel like a lot of you have had conversations recently with the person that you're not with. And I know some of you are going to be like, Dark Dove, and I'll be like, I know it's a general reading. It's not going to apply to all of you, but for some of you, it's recent. For some of you, maybe the only conversations you had in the past with this person since the breakup have been negative. It could have been 6 months ago, but whatever it was, you guys have been lashing out. Hence why I said with the Nine of Pentacles that you might be at a point where you're going, okay, I'm past those stages of grief or anger or hostility, but you had it recently or had it in the past couple of months, and you needed to, because I feel like for some of you, you had to have those hard conversations. I feel like this person you're dealing with didn't really care whether you had the conversations or not. Not that they don't love you or that there wasn't any care here by any means. Just like they don't know how to have the hard conversations. They know how to say, how are you? How's work? How are things going? But they don't know how to the white elephant is still in the room and nobody's addressing it, right? The next card you have is your distant futures over the next few months. And I love that. It's the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is about resting. It's about happiness. It's about first completion. It's about finding what you want. So if you're single, this is your distant future. This is what's coming for you over the next couple of months. It's happiness. It's connecting with somebody. It could be just connecting to date, but I really feel like it's a little more than that. It could be committed. I mean, it could be all the way to happily ever after. So maybe that's where your nerves are coming in. Maybe you've met this person. Like I said, for a few of you, you're dating one or two people, maybe one person, and you're really deciding, you're not sure how to feel about the whole situation. And now you're kind of like, okay. And I feel like if that's the case, this is like at your worst and they've seen you, like you're trying to push them away because you're testing the boundaries and they just keep coming back. But for majority of you, I feel like you're not seeing anybody, or if you are, it's just kind of up and down because you've had some bad experiences, but somebody's coming in that's kind of giving you these jitters of, I don't know, is this true? Is it not true? But either way, in the end, right now for your distant future, you have the Four of Wands, which is one of my favorite cards on the deck because it is a first completion. So ending the dating cycle and being exclusive, moving in together, whatever it is for you, whatever your path takes you, this is definitely a very positive card and moving towards a very good future. If you're looking to reconcile, I feel like there is a possibility here. Yes, you had to say some uglies here. Yes, I still feel like there's some energy you have to get through, but this legacy card, I think, will turn into something much bigger, especially with that Four of Wands card. Whenever I see that, that means like, hey, we may not be connecting right now. We may not be on the same page. Fuck, you guys may not even be talking. You may be like, screw you, whatever. But in the end, once you get past all of that negativity, the hostility, the things that need to come out, there is the possibility of having something amazing ahead of you. The next card you have is your immediate future. So throughout the next few weeks and throughout the month of December, and you have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a burden. It's a responsibility. This is also a completion. So you have two completion cards here. But the Ten of Wands is like an immediate completion. So if you're single, you may be cutting off whoever this screwball is that's been telling you, oh, we're going to get together, or we're going to be together, or I really am going to commit. And they're talking to 5 other people, or they call you once a week or whatever. And you're like, okay, I've had enough. Like, I get where you're going, pal. Like, I wasn't born, I was born at night, but not last night. So thank you very much. The Ten of Wands, again, like I said, is you releasing some sort of burden and saying, all right, I'm responsible for part of this. And like I said, there is a responsibility factor here. Like you have the ability to get past it. You have the ability to dump any negative energies and harness good energy. So for a lot of you singles, I feel like maybe you are still conversing with people who just don't make you feel good, who aren't worth your time, and you need to dump that burden. You won't get here if you're carrying this baggage along. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, there are some burdens here that you guys need to get through. Hence the, having conversation. The heavy burden here, though, for me, feels like for you, if you're looking to reconcile, that this is a burden that you guys have carried for a long time. I don't know why I'm thinking like inability to have kids, or I feel like somebody's feeling like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and maybe have sabotaged some of this relationship, whether it's you or them. But I feel like these are burdens. It doesn't have to be like an inability to have kids, but it's like, it's some sort of like one of you is working and the other one's taking care of the kids, or there's some sort, one of you has like a heavier or feels this way. I'm not saying that's the case, because I'm sure you guys or cross watchers are going to be like, no, it's all them. It's all them. But somebody's carrying a burden, and I don't know that they've unloaded it on this person that they're looking to reconcile with. I don't know that you guys have had this heavy conversation of, hey, I feel like, I'm the one that we depend on for money, or I feel like I'm the one who we depend on to care for the kids, or I feel like I'm the one who always has to make big sacrifice. It feels like one of you feels very one-sided, and you need to release this burden. You need to complete it. You won't get this until this burden is completed. And it may just be a heavy conversation. It doesn't have to be that things change drastically, like somebody quits their job or somebody, whatever. It just has to be a conversation that's had because somebody's feeling outweighed right now. The next card you have is anything tangible that's going to come into the month. So anything that could happen throughout the month, beginning, middle, end. It could last for an hour. It could last for 2 minutes. You have the Ace of Swords. This is a logic and a clarity and a power. So if you're single, you're going to see something. This energy is going to clear here. You're going to escape that energy and come into this energy where you're like, I can do this. I can see clearly. I know what this person wants. I know what I want. Again, you may not have met them, but I feel like this is you also cutting off any ties you have with this person. I just see them as really, it bothers me that it's like on their cell phone and jibber jabbering, and they see you calling or they see you texting and they like ignore it. And then they don't get back to you and you're like, what the heck's going on? They're telling me I don't have to go on the whole thing, but this person, whoever you're dealing with, if you're single, I feel like it's somebody who's come back and forth into your life, just kind of takes up your time and they're just not worth it. I think you're going to have the logic and the clarity to cut it off. And then there's somebody else who's either coming in or somebody else you're talking to that I think you need to pay a little more attention to. Somebody who could be a friend energy. You've put them in the friend zone, but they may deserve to be out of the penalty box. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, the Ace of Swords is saying, hey, you can see things clearly too. This is you guys kind of having to come to Jesus, because this is, you have the heavy fights. Somebody's carrying a burden. You're going to have the conversation and then you're both going to go, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. Or I didn't realize I made you feel that way. Or I didn't realize that I put you in the, and not you, but like both of you. Cause I feel like this is a very succinct energy. Like you're both feeling like you're both carrying burdens, and you need to have this conversation of, hey, this is how I feel. Or when you say this, or when you do this, and they're going, oh, I didn't think about that's how that could come across, and vice versa. The next card you have is anything you're feeling throughout the month. It could be the beginning, middle, end, lasts for an hour, 2 days. You have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a spark. It's a curiosity. It's a confidence. So if you're single, this is definitely you meeting somebody. I laugh because I just feel this like, hey, I don't know. So this is you talking to somebody, conversing with somebody, and you may still be like in this energy of, oh, I don't know, like I'm this 9 of Swords killing me because I don't know who to trust or whatever, but somebody's definitely got your attention this month. If you haven't met them, you will, and they're going to have your attention. And then you're going to feel a little more confident and a little more confident and a little more confident about being with somebody else, a little more faith and love, a little more faith. But again, this is definitely a spark, somebody who's, curiosity, they're catching your curiosity. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, this is some sort of communication. So if you're not communicating, there will be some sort of communication. Again, this is internal, but this is you like wishing for it and manifesting, or this is them saying, okay, I'm going to give it one more time. And maybe you've been ignoring them, but this month you're feeling a little more generous. So you're going to pick up the phone and say, okay, hi, what do you want? So there's definitely some sort of communication happening if you're looking to reconcile. All right, the next card you have are hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Page of Cups. This is a childlike innocence type card. This is a seeing things as like a new beginning. So if you're single, this definitely is you coming out of this type of energy and going into, well, maybe I could have this, or maybe I could have a new beginning, or maybe the experiences I've had before are all crap and I need to trust, have my faith and believe in the universe, because this is you seeing things differently, seeing things on a much different scale, a much lighter scale, like getting past any negative energies, getting past any, whatever the past has, any people you had to cut out, any people who didn't treat you right. It just, having a negative experience in general can flaw how we think for the next couple of months. And the Page of Cups is saying you're coming out of that energy and you're looking at things as like a child would, with excitement and, some sort of, demeanor of happiness and excitement. So If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. This is you going, okay, can we start over? Is there a possibility here we can come into this without carrying all the baggage, without these burdens, without these harsh words? Can we start over? Can we feel generous towards each other? And again, these are hopes or fears. So they're internal. So your hope is, hey, we might be able to have a go at this, but we both might need to clear the slate and actually say, this is a new freaking beginning. And if we're going to do this, no more bullshit. And we both start fresh. We're not going to start, poking each other with you did this 10 years ago and you did this 5 years ago and you did whatever. You get my point.